But here it says, if you remember back here, he said, if they fail to do so, then they answer to him for it. And, I stand before you 5'6", 150-ish. The ish is kind of on the plus side, falling around 154 these days, but competition weight, 148, so. And I have 5 sons. And there's something about my family that I've been called stubborn and strong-willed, and unfortunately it's an inherited trait, and my sons have inherited that too. And understand it's not just a flaw, it comes in very handy. It really comes in handy, especially in the area of headship and leadership. It just has to be channeled in the right direction. It's actually a gift, it's a talent, and I appreciate possessing it. But if you have, my 3 adult sons are, approaching 6 foot or 6 foot plus. So obviously I had to, and I have their respect, obviously I had to form into them in their formative years the idea of respect and how they are going to deal in relation to their mother. Because I would tell them this: she's not my best friend, she's my girlfriend. And whenever you are dishonoring and being disrespectful to your mother, you mess with my girlfriend. And that's not a good place to be. Just think about it. If you had a girlfriend and you had somebody that was not being honorable to them. So you got to know that's what you're messing with. And we're going to go from there. And as he said further into his discussion, okay, we require that they work around the house. We keep them busy. And her duty, in my mind, especially as they've grown up, is to supervise. She's not my maid either. We have a lot of arms and legs and hands around the house that can take care of pretty much everything. So everybody has their duties. They know what they are. And she is to assign others that may come up and to supervise and make sure they get done to my satisfaction. Because there's ways that I want things around our home. He also mentions, as we get further into chapter 1, 2 types of families. One being a consumer type. And this type of family is one that their focus tends to be around leisure, entertainment, TV, movies, and shopping, buying. So that, like, shopping is like a principal activity of some of these families. That's one type. The other type is a sports adventure type family, and they have a mission. They have something they're going to accomplish. They're very active. They do a lot of things, and they just have this desire to accomplish something, to do projects, and of course they're going to vary family to family depending on the gifts and talents God has given them. But he says that active family, those types tend to be much more successful because they build in the character and the work ethic that goes toward all that. So how do I get this done? With my sons and daughters. Okay. One of the principal practices, and I just developed this on my own, but it was through some ideas from a minister, a Protestant minister by the name of Michael Pearl. Many of y'all know him and have heard him. And I was noticing that, we would have problems with obedience, and my wife would get a little discouraged, and I'll say, look, you have adults. If you go, let's say you go out to a job site, there's going to be probably one guy that's going to be there, and he's going to look like he's not doing anything. And he's probably going to be sitting in his truck on the phone. But his job there is to make sure the other guys do what they're supposed to do. So that's why he's not doing anything. So it's not that there's anything wrong with our kids, that they're not being obedient. It's just like, that's just human nature. So somebody's got to be there supervising to make sure things get done. So don't think there's anything wrong. It's just human nature, and we deal with it, and we each do our job as it has to be done. And then the other problem was with respect, because to me, if something is done or answered, but it's not done respectfully, then it might as well not have been done. So we also have to build in the respect. So I developed what was called art days, which could start as art hours or art weeks or art months, potentially an art year. No, we won't get to an art year, but these are days where, or weeks, where it's almost like drills, but it's procedure, because we're building in habits. And it's ORT, not ART, obedience and respect training. So it would go something like this. They all know their duties when they got to get up in the morning, and it depends on whether we're in school or not. We homeschool. And so they may go, after morning duties and then breakfast, then go into school. And if not go into school, then either after breakfast or after school, they report to mom to find out whatever they need to do besides, what they already know the duties to be. And then she tells them, okay, do this, do that. And it's not, Mom, do you want me to wash the van while it's 30 degrees outside? No, because that's what they tend to do. And it's like, don't ask Mom if she wants you to do thus and such, because that's just going to cause confusion. What you're doing is you prompt Mom, what do you need me to do? And that way, that allows her to, prompts her to observe what needs to be done and what each particular kid is capable of doing. So that's how that has to be asked. And then they go off and do the task. Now, they may end up in the backyard or in the back field, to where and that's part of the training, where they have to be reeled back in and start all over again. But what's going to come to happen is they come back and say, okay, Mom, I've done the task. Do you want to check it? And then she could decide, she's supposed to check it, make sure it's done right. And if not, she may be in the middle of something else, can't do it at the time. Is there anything else you need me to do? And that on art days, that just goes on all day long till she gets tired of it. And then they have to, those are not play days, there's no free time and things like that. So that's kind of how that's been accomplished, and it works dandy, works really well. So art days, use them.